Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new around here, I have two rules on this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule, that's for you to verify everything that you learn, whether it's here on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule of life. So getting into the video, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is at it again. And this time they find one of the three major credit bureaus. And you're not going to want to miss this because once again, this is like the second article in maybe 2 weeks where the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is going after either a credit card company or even the credit bureaus themselves. Now, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, their existence is self-explanatory. They're around to help the consumer. But in this case, they went after one of the big dogs. And I'm not going to waste time talking any further. I'm going to get right into the article. Now, the way how it works over here at this channel is I'll read through the article. Maybe I'll read through the full article, or I'll go excerpts, and then I'll leave the article in the description box. And I always encourage you all to read the article on your own. Give it a read and share it with loved ones. That way they're informed as well. But after I read through the article or excerpts, I always provide my opinion on what's going on. So make sure that you do stick around to the end of the video so you'll know my opinion. But let's get right into it. So the article is by CNBC and it was posted yesterday, Friday, January 17th, 2025. It reads, the CFPB fines Equifax $15 million for errors on credit reports. And the article was by Greg LaCursey. Now, the thing about CNBC that I like, they always like to leave key points at the top of the article. So the key points read, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau fined Equifax $15 million for credit reporting errors. The CFPB alleged the credit bureau failed to properly investigate consumer disputes. Credit reports have a significant impact on consumer finances, experts said. They may dictate someone's success in qualifying for a loan, renting an apartment, or getting a job. Now, as you all can see from the key points where this is heading, they were fined $15 million, Equifax that is. And the reason why they were fined $15 million is because the CFPB alleges that Equifax failed to properly investigate consumer disputes. Now, I always talk about disputes on this channel. I always say, you know, I want people to learn about how credit scoring works and the 5 categories that go into a credit score before they go through with disputes and stuff like that. Now, one thing about credit repair, I don't do credit repair, just to let you all know. But one thing about credit repair, it has become mostly about sending out dispute letters. And you're going to learn something in this article, so stick by. It gives an interesting number of the amount of dispute letters that they receive per month. And that probably plays a part into why some of these disputes get brushed off. But we're going to get further into the article, all right? Let's get into it. It says the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau fined Equifax $15 million over errors tied to consumer credit reports, alleging the company failed to conduct proper investigations of disputed information, the federal watchdog announced Friday. Equifax is one of the 3 major credit reporting agencies in the U.S., a group that also includes Experian and TransUnion. It says, quote unquote, Equifax ignored consumer documents and evidence submitted with disputes, allowed previously deleted inaccuracies to be reinserted into credit reports, provided confusing and conflicting letters to consumers about the results of its investigations, and used flawed software code which led to inaccurate consumer credit scores, according to the CFPB's order. That right there is interesting. And I say it's interesting because one of the complaints people used to have over the years is they would send a dispute letter and items would get removed, and somehow they would find those items back on their credit report. So that was one of the things people used to complain about often. And it's just interesting to see it pop up in this article. And it's interesting to witness that the CFPB has actually been paying attention to this, and they're calling it out. Not only are they calling out the credit bureaus, they're also calling out these credit card companies and these banks. It is starting to get pretty interesting, especially if you have been paying attention to the news over here. But let's get further into it. So it has a section on why credit cards are important. I'm not going to read through that section. I'll let you all check out that section on your own. But I skipped to the paragraph that says Equifax had flawed process, CFPB says. It says Equifax processes about 765,000 consumer disputes a month, CFPB said. Its quote-unquote flawed dispute policies and technology failures occurred since at least October 2017 to the detriment of millions of consumers, according to the CFPB, which alleged Equifax violated the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Equifax settled the allegations to turn the page on the CFPB's long-running investigation, a company spokesperson wrote in an email. The company has invested more than $1.5 billion into technology and infrastructure improvements over the last few years, including quote-unquote significant changes to its dispute process and consumer support, the spokesperson said. Our purpose is to help people live their financial best, and we know consumers and our customers depend on our data for important financial decisions, they wrote. Even one error affecting the consumer is one error too many, they added. The $15 million civil penalty follows a lawsuit CFPB filed against another credit bureau, Experian, on January 7th, alleging the company conducted sham investigations of credit report errors. In a statement on its site, Experian said the lawsuit was, quote-unquote, completely without merit and an quote-unquote example of irresponsible overreach. Credit bureaus have been sued repeatedly for this kind of conduct, said Chi-Chi Wu, senior attorney at the National Consumer Law Center. They're decades-old problems, she said. An Equifax data breach in 2017 also compromised the personal information of 147 consumers, for which the company ultimately agreed to settle for $700 million. And one of the main reasons why I said you all should read it is because they give good tips on what you should do when reporting to the credit bureaus as far as disputes are concerned and things like that. But I want to talk with you all. And this article is interesting. One of the things that I'm paying attention to is the CFPB. They are on these people's heels. And it makes me wonder what you all think about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Do you think that they're on the consumer side, or do you think that they're instigating and making things worse? Let me know what you think. But in my opinion, this is a win for the consumer, especially for the people who do disputes and they send out disputes to these credit bureaus. One of the first things people often do when it comes to them trying to increase and repair their credit score is send out dispute letters. Now, I'm not a fan of doing it first, because I believe that you need to learn about how credit scoring works first, and then you worry about that, or you can do it simultaneously. But I come across so many people who know everything when it comes to disputes. However, if I was to ask them about credit card utilization, or the 5 categories that go into a FICO credit score, or even ask them what are the 3 major credit bureaus, people are not able to tell me what they are. And that's unfortunate, because when you're just sending out dispute letters and you're not gaining any knowledge of how credit scoring works, you're more than likely going to end up getting right back in that position where you need to send out dispute letters again in the future. And I don't want that for you. And honestly, you shouldn't want that for you. So in my opinion, this news is a win for the consumer. However, I'm going to continue to educate people over here, and I'm going to continue to let people know how credit scoring works and ways that you could avoid not having to send dispute letters to the credit bureaus in general. You know, this is about being proactive. If you're proactive with managing your credit card accounts and managing your credit accounts in general, you more than likely won't need to send out those disputes. Now, of course, some people may need to send them out. There are always outliers, but if you're doing your best at managing your accounts, you're preventing collections and you're preventing a lot of things. Of course, you're going to have errors from time to time that are out of your control. But for the most part, if you're managing your accounts the correct way, you can avoid even having to send out disputes. And that's one of the reasons why I have this channel. But anyways, as I stated earlier, the link to the article is in the description. I advise you all to check it out and give it a read. It's not a long read. Pass it along. Pass this video along so your loved ones and your friends are educated on it as well and what's going on in the news. But anyways, if you're new to this channel and you feeling the vibe around here, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications, that way you don't miss a future video, because I post often. That's clicking on that bell and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you. Be sure to hit the like button, my subscribers included. Hit the like button. That's your way of letting the algorithm know you support this video and this channel. Once again, I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by. This is Warrior Soil, and I'm out. Hey, what's going on? This is Nell from Warrior Soil. So as someone who went from a 549 credit score all the way up to the 800s, I decided to share the same information that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. This book is titled Strategies to Master Credit. I put everything in this book, everything that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. All of the information is in this book. So I want you all to purchase this book. A lot of you have already purchased it, but it's available currently right now on Amazon.com and also MasterCreditBook.com. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. You want this book. It has all the information needed in order for you to go from poor credit to excellent credit, or just simply maintain your good or excellent credit score. So get the book ASAP. And if you want something more in depth, you could take the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. It's more in depth. There are actually chapters in this course, and it walks you through basically how FICO credit scores come about and how they're determined. And really, once you learn how FICO scores come about and the concept of credit scores, then you're pretty much on your way to either going from poor credit to good credit, or just maintaining a good or excellent credit score. So if you want something more in depth, I have the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. All right.